Right guys, before we get started, make sure you do subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that notification bell as well. You see the border at the bottom of this page here? There's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Tumblr. And the names above it are the usernames for each of those social media channels. Make sure you do give them a follow as well. Come on everybody, let's stay safe and subscribe. Hello everyone and welcome back to TGR, that's Gaming Robo. Now everyone, today we are going to be doing the top 10, my top 10 right backs on this game, Championship Manager 0102. Now we've already done the goalkeeper's side and I've had a few private messages, people saying that they thought one keeper should have been added onto there. They thought another keeper should have been added onto there. And like I said, a lot of people did say to me as well that my close friend said to me that they didn't believe that Stuart Bywater was number one in their eyes. And obviously explaining to them, you know, this video is just my own personal opinion. You know, everyone's own opinions do count at the end of the day. I was just saying, but, you know, I personally feel that Stuart Bywater is one of the best goalkeepers on the game, as long as you do train him and actually play him. But anyway, like I said, this is the top 10 right backs on Championship Manager 0102. So let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Let's get started showing you who is at number 10, Igor Biscan. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. Obviously, I did a video with a Liverpool Championship Manager 0102 season. Will I be a flop or am I better than Klopp? I did sell Igor Biscan, but on other games I have purchased him before, obviously because he plays at a right back. He's a defensive midfielder, right and centre. So I bought him before and he is actually quite good, to be fair. I mean, he's at number 10 because I feel that I haven't given him enough chance, to be fair, and I know he is good on here, but if I've given him more of a chance, he may have been higher up on this list. But anyway, the main factor is obviously you can buy him for £4.7 million, and he gets paid £8,000 a week. Obviously, one of the issues that he does have is that he does need a work permit. So if you're not going to be playing him, obviously it's just a waste of money, in all fairness. But apart from that, you know, he does go on till 33, maybe 34. So if you do buy him at the start of the game, obviously you're going to have, you know, a decade worth of service. So it's not a bad signing, to be fair. But that's enough of number 10 with Igor Biscan. Now we're going to see who's picked him at number 9. Mike Duff. Now, Mike Duff, you guys have seen it before. I've bought him a couple of times. I do think he is an absolute brilliant right back on this game. It's just unfortunate with the past couple of videos that I have shown, he hasn't really been up to scratch, so to speak. But he is definitely a brilliant player. I mean, even though if you play him at right back or a defensive midfielder right-sided player, he does get you goals. He does get you lots of assists. His tackling ratio is absolutely superb. And his average rating is always above average. So it's always between 7 to 8, so to speak. So he is really a really good player, to be fair with you. Now, he is valued at £12,000. So he's absolutely dirt cheap. And of course, he's getting paid £500 a week. Not bad at all, is it really? So it's not like you're buying one of the most expensive players on the game and he's doing poorly. If you're buying him for, you know, 12, I mean, the highest I've ever paid for him was £250,000. You're only losing a little bite size of your transfer fund. In my eyes, this guy is worth it. He is English, 23, so once again, you should get about a decade's worth of experience with him. But yeah, in my eyes, I do believe he is a valid player to be in the top 10 list. But enough of Mike Duff. We're now going to go down to who is at number 8. Charles Puyol. Now, Charles is an absolutely amazing right back on Championship Manager 01-02. Tons of experience. I mean, the guy himself, even though at this time, of course, he's only played one cap for Spain, but he's playing at Barcelona and he's a regular first team player in the Barcelona team playing at right back. And he's got Michael Riesger as competition. But his pace is 17, his tackling's 14, which, okay, probably could be a little bit better. Acceleration's 19, bravery's 20, work rate and teamwork is 18. That's really massive in my own eyes. I look at their work rate, I look at the pace, I look at the strength, the stamina, etc., etc. I look at all of these things and try and envision in my head whether or not if a player is actually worthwhile to buy or not. But speaking of buying, I mean, Charles is worth at £3.9 million, and he's getting paid literally just shy of £11,000 a week. Now, one hard thing is pricing him away from Barcelona, and sometimes it does take quite a lot of money. So if you're managing a team and you want to buy Puyol, it's going to take a large chunk of your transfer fund to take him away. Excuse me, very sorry about that. But it's going to take It's going to take a large chunk of your transfer fund away for buying him. But anyway, this is Charles Puyol, and like I said, he's at number 8. We're now going to see who is at number 7. Michael Dobson. Now, unfortunately, when you start the game in 01-02, you can never buy Michael Dobson because Brentford always replies back saying, rejected the offer, we've only recently just purchased him. Even though it shows that he's been at the club for 3 years. Go figure. But anyway, Michael Dobson, he can play in centre-back role, but he is predominantly a good right back. But, I mean, you look at his pace. Okay, it's pretty good. Acceleration, exactly the same. Stamina and strength and tackling, very good. Work rate and teamwork is quite good as well. Now, like I said, he plays for Brentford, so they're in the lower league side. And he's valued at £220,000. And he only gets paid £200 a week. But you look at these clauses here. Obviously, if Brentford does get relegated, you can then have the opportunity to buy him for £100,000. So when it comes to the end of the first season, my own personal opinion is go out and buy him. Because you're either going to be paying around £500,000 to £1 million for him, or if Brentford do poorly, you could be buying him potentially for £100,000. Once again, it's one of these players that you won't lose a lot of your transfer fund if you do buy him. Okay, but yeah, I mean, once again, he's very young. He's 20 years old. He's got a long career on this game. So in my own eyes, once again, I do believe he's very, very good talent, and he is worth the price tag that you could potentially pay, as I said, up to £1 million. But that's it for Michael Dobson at number 7. We are now going down to number 6. Let's see who that is. Ole Tobiasen. Now, I've spoken to a couple of my friends outside of this channel, and I've asked them, what do you think about Ole Tobiasen? Only one of my mates have actually said, oh, I actually think he's a good player. Everyone else has said, never heard of him. For people who don't know who this guy is, you really should be playing this game a lot more. And if you do play this game as much as most people say they do, you obviously don't play with all the leagues together. You need to be playing with the leagues together because you miss out on so many talented players on here. If you don't have the database on full, it is shocking. It really, really is. But anyway, as I was saying, Ole Tobiasen, Danish player, and yes, he's not very fast. He's not your traditional right back. You may look at it and think he comes across more as a centre back. Yes, he does. He does come across more of a centre back than as a right back. But this guy is absolutely incredible. I mean, I've managed Ajax before in the past because, like I said, I always try these other leagues out, just to see, whether or not if I can find anyone else that could be worthwhile. And with I saw him as number 2, so I immediately think number 2 is a right back. I know those today, the numbers don't really mean anything anymore. But yeah, as I played him at right back, and literally, it's so surprising to see his dribbling rate was so high, and his tackling rate was quite high as well. And like I personally think, looking at his stats, he looks like more of a centre back, but he does do really well playing at right back. Now, once again, he's quite cheap. Actually, he's valued at £1.9 million, and he's getting paid 10k a week. But you can easily get around 9, maybe 10 years with him if you buy him at the start of the game or the season after. So he's really worthwhile actually investing in, to be fair with you. I mean, I thought he was actually be valued a lot more, to be fair, but of course he's not. He's valued at 1.9. So the reason why he's in number 6 in my top 10, I just think if you do have him in your team, he's a valuable member to a team where you're building up to become a title-winning team. Anyway, guys, that's it from 10 to 6. We are now in the top 5. Chris Riggott. Now, everyone, if you guys have seen one of my older videos, it was the English Hidden Gems. Chris Riggott was in that side. Now, I know it shows on the bottom here that he is a centre-back, but on the game where I had him in one of my saves, it shows that he was a right-back and a centre-back. So I don't know whether or not if it's something where maybe Derby County, because I did buy him from Derby, if Derby County managed to actually change his position, like retrain him. I mean, if that is the case, then that is well worth looking into, because he does have the pace to become a right back. He does have the teamwork and work rate ability, and acceleration isn't that bad, of course, as well. So, I mean, in my eyes, yes, okay, he shows he's a centre-back, but he could be retrained as a right back, maybe, and he could be a very good, valuable person as a right back. I mean, he's playing at Derby County. I know they're in the Premiership in this season, but he's only valued at £1.3 million, and he's getting paid £200 a week. I mean, it's crazy. You can buy him for, £2.5 million, maybe 3, if Derby pushes it, and you could be paying him, no more than 8,000 a week, maybe even less. So with this guy, I mean, you can retrain him. Let's go there. You could retrain him. He's cheap. His contract will be cheaper as well. And then you've got a versatile player who could play at centre-back and right-back. Well worth looking into. And this is the reason why Chris Riggott is in 5th place out of my top 10. But now let's see who is at number 4. Dario Simic. Now, once again, a lot of people may not have heard of this guy. I mean, I heard quite a lot about him from playing this game when I first started it 20 years ago. But this guy here, he can play right back and centre back, and I have trained him before to become a left back as well. So once again, this is one of these players that's really good for adaptability, which is another thing, which is what I do look at as well, something I don't really mention a lot. But, I mean, you've got a guy here whose work rate is really, really good. His teamwork is fantastic as well. Tackling strength and stamina, second to none with all of these here, from stamina to work rate. It's very, very good. Pace, okay. Acceleration is very, very good. So you look at those figures and you think, okay, you buy Dario Simic in. I mean, he's 25, so you've got about 8 or 9 years before you go, right, okay, it's your retirement age. But you can retrain him, and you've got him that can work across the whole back line. I mean, he's valued at 4.6 million. Of course, he is Croatian. But with this guy, because he's been playing at Inter he's been playing in Italy for so long, he's actually got an Italian passport, which means you don't need a work permit for him, which is one major bonus. But anyway, guys, that's it for Dario Simic, and that's it for the 4th place out of my top 10. We are now into the top 3. Pontus Farnerud. Now, I found him, and I'm going to say this honestly, I found him accidentally. When I was doing my hidden gem stroke top players to buy from Sweden, I came across Pontus Farnerud, and I looked at him and I thought, he doesn't look that bad, actually. He doesn't look that bad. You know, he's playing in Monaco, so he's playing for a top team in France back then. And I thought, okay, I'll simulate a few seasons, see what he turns out to be. And I'm telling you this now, if you haven't seen that video, one of the best players to buy from Sweden, after this video, go back and watch it. You can see him and other fantastic Swedish players that you more likely don't know about. But going back to Pontus, he can play right back as well as left back. He is only right-footed, of course. I mean, you look at his tackling ability. Okay, it doesn't look the best. But his pace can fit into a right-back role. I mean, his crossing abilities, yes, okay. Once again, it's not perfect. But this is at the first season. You buy him, or if you want to wait a season, you'll be paying extra money for him, of course. But you buy him, give him a year, maybe 2, maybe even 3. I mean, he'll only be 24 if you wait 3 seasons. But he turns out to be an absolutely fantastic player, a fantastic fullback. So, I mean, looking at him now, I mean, he's valued at 2.1 million. He's Swedish, so he doesn't need any work permit, which is good. And he only gets paid 4,000 a week. So, to me, this guy's really, really cheap. Really, really cheap. And I mean, he's playing at Monaco, so he's playing for a good team. He's playing for a top team in France, let's be honest. So, it is worthwhile investing in him, because I personally think that if you buy him and you play him at right back, you will find out that you've got a really good player within your team, and definitely someone that you could rely on for over a decade. But enough about Pontus. We are now in the top 2. Igor Tudor. Now, guys, I was tossing and turning between Igor Tudor and the person who's in first place. I kept changing my mind because I honestly didn't know which one I would prefer. And in the end, in second place, I've gone with Igor Tudor. Now, he comes from Juventus, so one of the flaws within this is what I said about Gianluigi Buffon before in the top 10 goalkeepers. He's very hard to try and prize away from Juventus. They are so hard to try and buy a player from. But you look at his stats. I mean, he's a defender, right? He's a defensive right back, but he can also play as a defensive midfielder, right and centre. You look at his stats, and you know, even playing him for a season, maybe 2, he turns out to be an absolute beast. I mean, the amount of 20s he has in his stats is ridiculous. But this guy, Igor Tudor, I mean, he is Croatian. He is valued at 6.5 million. And with this guy, you don't need to have a work permit for him. It is crazy. It really, really is. One major flaw, apart from obviously that you're going to struggle to prize him away from Juventus, is that even though his aggression shows 10, he does get sent off quite a lot. So if you do buy him, you're going to have to go into the player instructions and tell him to maybe go in very easy. I mean, I always have my team instructions to go tackling on normal, hard, depending on what type of match it is. But with him, you're going to have to tell him to stay easy all the time, because even though he's a player that can immensely make your defence so much better, at the same time, his aggression, when he's playing, it does get the better of him, unfortunately. But that's enough of number 2. We've gone down from 10 to 9. We'll quickly read that back to you from 10th position to the 2nd position. So first of all, we had Biscan at number 10, Michael Duff at number 9, Charles Puyol at number 8, Mike Dobson, he was at number 7, and Ole Tobiasen, he was at number 6. Chris Riggott, he was at number 5. Dario Simic was at number 4. Pontus, can't pronounce his name, Pontus Farnerud, he was at number 3. And obviously Igor Tudor at number 2. So now guys, we're going to see who is my number 1 right back on Championship Manager 01-02. Brett Emerton. I first heard of Brett Emerton when he played for Blackburn Rovers. Now, he's 22 years old, he is Australian, and yes, you do need a work permit for Brett Emerton. But once again, this guy, you buy him as soon as you can, play him for 1 season, the amount of 20s you will see on this statistics board here is unbelievable. Now, I know having all 20s doesn't mean that he's the best player in the game. That goes without saying. But this guy turns out to be an absolute beast mode. And when I say beast mode, it's as high as I can get. He turns out to be an absolutely beast mode of a right back. One flaw, apart from the work permit. Even though he's valued at 4.3 million, the highest I've ever paid for him to buy him from Feyenoord was £20 million. They're an absolutely annoying prick of a team who just will not accept a low offer, unfortunately. He does get paid £20,500 a week. But honestly, guys, this one right here, Brett Emerton, he is someone that you should invest in. Because I promise you this, him at right back, honestly, you will not believe how much stronger your defence will be having him in your team. But anyway, guys, that is it for our top 10 right backs of Championship Manager 01-02. In TGR, that's Game & Robo's opinion. Not in anyone else's opinion, my own personal opinion. I remember I didn't say that at the beginning of the video. But this is the top 10 of my own personal opinion of the right backs on Championship Manager 01-02. I hope you have liked this video, guys. I mean, if you have liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Give it a like on this video. I would love to see so many likes on this video, honestly, guys. And also, thank you very much for the support on my channel, guys. We have got so much bigger recently, but I don't want it to stop there. I want you all to keep sharing out my name, the videos, and, and help me grow so then I can improve and give you guys better videos and better content. But please, guys, make sure you do subscribe to my channel. And of course, make sure that you do follow all of these social media accounts, guys. All right. But apart from that, guys, this has been a fantastic video, and I will continue to show you every top 10 position on Championship Manager 01-02. But apart from that, this has been myself, TGR. That's Game & Robo saying thank you very much, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye!